You know, one of the problems I do have when it comes to trainers and sneakers, I've got so many of them, but just not enough feet.
Perfect.
Hello broskis and welcome back to another edition of Buy or Buy. If you're new here, I'm Erkin and this is the life of a broski, where of course I bring you sneakers, lifestyle and more waffle than Captain Birdseye. Now broskis, of course you can tell by the title, this isn't your usual buy or buy. This is indeed my Air Max 90 collection. And a little disclaimer, I'm not like my peers where I have hundreds and hundreds of sneakers. This is literally the 6 pairs of Air Max 90s that I own. And I know what some of you are thinking, bro, I wear 6 pairs of trainers in one day. But I've only started collecting the past year and a half. Before that I was just using and abusing. So now that I'm taking it more seriously, in my opinion, I've picked up some gems when it comes to the 90s. So starting off my collection, I have got the Nike Air Max 90 OG Volt. Now of course this Air Max 90 OG Volt is a part of that re-release to the OG pack and I couldn't help myself. So much so I had to get 2 pairs of these bad boys. I couldn't help it. I could not help it. Whilst we've got the boxes here, one of the things that really annoyed me with this OG pack, they've almost halved the box. So when you tuck these babies away, they squish so much. But one of the pros to this sneaker is of course the materials used on the upper. The mesh material on this sneaker alongside the synthetic leather and the more chunkiness feel to it gives it that 90s and retro vibe. In my opinion, this OG pack is a lot more comfortable than your average Air Max 90. It's due to that added padding and cushioning, and this OG Volt colorway is actually my most worn Air Max 90 out of the lot. So that's how much I love these bad boys. So whilst we're on the OG pack of the Air Max 90, I have got next up the Nike Air Max 90 OG Hyper Turquoise. Now this colorway was another one that reminds me of the 90s and it gives me that retro nostalgic feel. The only colorway that I didn't get out of the OG pack that I really wanted was that Hyper Purple, but by far the Volt and this Hyper Turquoise were my favorite out of the OG pack. In my opinion, in this colorway, the pictures and reviews did not do this justice. I really appreciated them a lot more when I had them in person and on foot. So that is the Air Max 90 OG Hyper Turquoise. So next on the list, I have the Air Max 90 Red Armpit. So next on the list, I have the Air Max 90 Red Orbit and Psychic Purple. Now this colorway I have actually reviewed. I will be linking every single review that I have done for these sneakers down below, and I didn't actually realize these are called the Raptors because the colorway is inspired by the Toronto Raptors. And I'm really digging the purples and the reds on this sneaker. Another summer banger in my opinion. These colors go so well with a lot of outfits. And the purples and the reds on this sneaker just go so well with the whites and the blacks. especially that red orbit. It's like on the border between a red and a pink. But unlike the OG pack, this has a more modern and streamlined look to it. A lot less padding on this compared to the OG pack, but it doesn't compromise in any shape or form. That is the red orbit Psychic Purple Raptors colorway. Next up on my list is the Air Max 90 Dark Smoke Grey Barely Volt. Now this colorway really caught my eye. Just the contrast between that dark grey and the Volt, alongside the subtle details on the sneaker. A couple things that really caught my eye was the backwards writing of the Nike branding and Air Max on the tongue. That color dye effect of the Nike branding on the mesh panels with this sneaker, alongside that 3M reflective Nike swoosh, were things that made me really want this sneaker. Now you have to look very carefully at this silhouette to notice some of these things, but once you're up close and personal, you just fall in love with them. Now this is also called the Barely Volt colorway. It has that sort of washed out pale green look to it, but it's brought to life by the Volt panels on this silhouette. But I love this colorway. It's very eye-catching, it's very different to what's out there. So that is the Dark Smoke Grey Barely Volt and Volt colorway. Next on the list is the Air Max 90 Court Purple and Hyper Jade. Now this colorway is another Air Max 90 that gives me the 90s vibe. The Hyper Jade and Court Purple just go so well, and as soon as I saw a picture of these, I had to hunt these down. It is of course a modern Air Max 90. It's very similar to the Raptors colorway that I have in terms of the look and feel. The only difference between the two is the Hyper Jade has more of a mesh inside compared to the Raptors fleece-like material. But out of all my Air Max 90s, I think I'm more hesitant to wear this colorway just because I want to keep them on ice as much as I can. And I think they're the best looking out of the lot. But that is the Court Purple and Hyper Jade Air Max 90. Now last but not least, if Batman were an Air Max. Air Max 90 Triple Black. Now broskies, the reason why there isn't on-foot footage is because I ordered the wrong size. I saw these on Net-a-Porter thinking I'm ordering a US 10, but what they sent me was a UK 7.5. Little did I know that the women's sizing is different. I thought it was too good to be true because they were on sale for around £65. So I've got to send them back, but the triple black is defo one I want in my collection. That dark stealthy look to this classic silhouette is just essential to your collection. Especially in winter, this is an all occasion sneaker. So I'm going to keep searching for my size for a reasonable price. But until then, I can only look at these bad boys. I love the blend of materials used on this sneaker, from the mesh to the synthetic leather, and of course that nubuck finish. It's just got that stealthy Batman vibe. So that is the Air Max 90 Triple Black. So there is my Air Max 90 mini collection. Out of all the colors that I own, in terms of looks, I'm gonna have to go with the Hyper Jade and Court Purple as my favorite. But in terms of the on-foot feel, I have to go with the OG Volts. You could honestly just wear them all day without a problem. But broskies, let me know out of these lot, which one would be your favorite? Do you own any of these colorways, or are you trying to get one? Leave your comments down below, and of course I will be pinning the best one. And if you want to see more videos like this, smash that like button, comment down below, and of course if you haven't already, subscribe. And broskies, until the next episode, take care.